I was a very untrusting kid. I didn't feel loved, and it affected me in all kinds of ways. At the age of 9, I tried to commit suicide. My life was just one big disappointment after another. I couldn't even end my life well. I couldn't do anything right. Hi, my name is Alysabeth Abernathy, and this is my story. My childhood growing up was, in the best way I can describe it, it was very abusive. My parents were both young when they had me. Neither one of them were very capable of being parents. They didn't know how to take care of themselves, let alone children. And then they had me, and 18 months later, my sister, who was very disabled, she was born very sick child. So they couldn't really cope with the stress, and they fought a lot. I was abused by my father in every way possible. At a very young age, I was taken out of their care and put in foster care. And that was pretty much the theme of my whole childhood. In and out of foster care, back home, taken away again. School was my favorite place to be. I'd rather go to school than be at home. But then at school, I was an outcast because I switched schools so often. So I didn't really have friends. So I found my life to be books. I was very book smart, and I loved school. I didn't so much love the people at school. My mom frequently likes to remind me that when I was younger and they said there was a snow day, most kids are excited. I was like, well, how dare they cancel school? I'm gonna walk to school. Finding Jesus didn't come until I was 28 years old. I feel like most of my childhood and the first portion of my adult life, I felt like, how could there possibly be a God that would let a child go through this? With every new foster home or residential treatment facility, we went to a different type of church, and I just seen Christians as these hypocrites. Like, they don't care about me. They speak this, but then they act this, and that's just how my vision of the Christians were. And I didn't think that God loved me, because if He loved me, why would He let me go through all this junk and abuse that I went through? It seemed like my whole adult beginnings was without purpose. I was just floating from day to day. Nothing had purpose. And then I believe that before my son was born, I bought the Left Behind series, and it just sat on a shelf. And one night I was just feeling like so lost, and I can't remember why or how, but I just something just led me to go pick up those books, because I had them, they just never read them. And I know they're fictional books, but they're based upon the gospel. And I was like, I made the decision then and there that I didn't want to be left behind. That if God really truly loved His children, I wanted to be one of those children. I wanted to feel that love that I never felt in my life. Probably like 3 a.m. one morning, I knelt beside my bed and I said, Jesus, I give it all. I give it all. I'm done trying to do it my own way. And I take it, I leave it at your feet. And I'm going to let you do this, because I can't do it. I failed miserably. I felt free when I was saved, but it was so much greater of a freedom when I finally made that choice to forgive and let go everything that had happened in my past. And that in turn helped me to bring the message forth. It gave me the vision one Sunday, and I was sitting there, and it was like I was halfway asleep, but I was awake, and I was like, I saw the detention center. I was up there speaking in front of the kids, sharing my testimony, and I'm like, no, God, no. I said I was never going back, because as a juvenile I'd been there, and And he's like, yes, you are. Every time I go into that detention center, I have to explain to those kids that you're human, your parents are humans, and they are going to mess up. They're human, they're not God. God is perfect, and our fathers and our mothers who sometimes let us down, yeah, God gave us to them, but they're human, so they're going to make mistakes. But we have to forgive them. We have to let that go and move on, or we're just going to continuously stay in this state of bitterness and bondage and feel like we've got these chains on us that are literally going to choke out our light and choke out our life. He showed me that what I was to do was to show them what I've went through, to relate my life experiences to the gospel, to relate how my life was changed when I found his love, and to show that love to them because I knew what they were going through. I was to show that there's a light at the end of the tunnel when I felt like my life had no purpose, and how I floated for so long and wasted so much time, that I'm supposed to share that with them so that they don't waste the same precious time and they don't make the decision so late as I did, because we never know what's promised tomorrow. So he kind of showed me that this is what I'm to do. I'm supposed to further his kingdom with my story.